All right, Tim, we're going to give you a nice little intro. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Standing at 6'4" and weighing in at 232 pounds, a man from Middlefield, Connecticut. We're at Xavier High School. He won 3 state championships, a quarterback who finished first in passing yards in the Ohio Valley State Conference while at Eastern Kentucky, a rising star who started 3 games in the 21-22 season for the Detroit Lions. He's the best active TB in football. Presenting the Laser Show, Tim Boyle.
Incredible. Well done. I
What's
appreciate
up,
you guys.
Tim?
So happy I'm here, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Hey, appreciate you coming on. And once again, we got to show the little lasers in there because
That is incredible. Who did that one?
Because that describes the arm right there. But Tim, first and foremost, appreciate you joining on. How's your off season going?
It's been going well. It really has. It's been it's kind of been a blur the past kind of month. Season ends. I kind of rushed, back to Jersey City, New Jersey. That's where my girlfriend and I have our new apartment, and kind of got things situated. We went through this whole big move and kind of getting the couch and just getting everything kind of out from storage. Because when I moved from Green Bay, it was a whole big move. But got to take a little trip with my family down to Florida, which was kind of my little vacation. Kind of take a deep breath and kind of get away from football and get some sun on me. And then I actually just went out to the Super Bowl with my dad. So. It's been kind of a whirlwind past month, but I think moving forward is kind of when I get to put my feet in the ground and kind of plant my feet and get back to work.
I was going to say your off season sounds anything but boring. It sounds like very busy, but fun. Going to the Super Bowl, you can't top that. But Tim,
can't beat it.
I want to start off with the early but somewhat recent years. And I say that because you and I are the same age. You're actually a little younger than me. And so Teddy mentioned you won 3 state championships your sophomore to senior season, and you really came into it your senior season in high school, over 2,000 yards, and finished the career with 29 passing touchdowns and 8 rushing touchdowns. We got to mention that because we're a fantasy podcast as well. That's where the points come in for quarterbacks. So you play your first 3 years at UCONN for college, and you're playing in more games each season. Now, you transfer Eastern Kentucky your last year of eligibility, and it sounds like it was a combination of a few things, and you handled it super professionally. And the situation itself was tough. 3 different coaches, 3 different coordinators, 3 different quarterback coaches. Now, I can't imagine how difficult it is to leave that situation. You're an in-state kid. You spent your first 3 seasons trying to help a team that had been struggling for years. At what point did transferring really kind of hit you?
That's a wonderful question and well said. I can see you did a little bit of digging yourself, which I appreciate. But yeah, when I reflect on my football career, it's incredible. It's as life is, a lot of ups and downs. I was a lot of success in high school, like you said, 3 state championships. I'm riding high, and all of a sudden, I'm this big, highly recruited quarterback now staying in state, and everyone's excited for me. And I started as a true freshman, and things just don't kind of go my way. And, that was kind of my story in college. Even when I transferred to EKU, it didn't really go as planned. I wasn't that throwing 40 touchdowns, 5 interceptions and, get a couple rushing touchdowns under my belt. It just wasn't that easy for me. But to answer your question, man, it's self-belief, I think, is where it started from, and an incredible support staff, man. My 2 sisters, my parents are the only reason I am where I am right now. And they have done a wonderful job of reeling me in when I have to kind of get reeled in, and supporting me along the way. But, one of the most difficult decisions in my life was, kind of having to look in the mirror and kind of tell myself that I wanted to have a positive college experience. And that's kind of when I decided to transfer. And, your heart's pounding when you call the coach and say, hey, I'm thinking about transferring. But Coach Diaco at the time was understanding, and the kind of rest is history. But I went to EKU, and it was an awesome time down there. I get to reflect on my time down in EKU, and it's friendships. It's learned a lot about myself. Got to kind of changed my body, and I was able to redshirt. I don't know if you guys knew that, but I redshirted when I was down there. So I was technically there for a year and a half. But just such a looking back, and I actually just talked to my dad about this past weekend when we were at the Super Bowl, but how do you sit there and allow your son, who is going to get a good degree at a good, at UConn, and allow him to go transfer to a small, Southern school where it's not a highly looked at, degree, but it's me following my dream. And my parents and my sisters allowed me to follow my dream, and they believed in me, and I believed in myself. And look where I'm at now, man. It really is crazy. I pinch myself. It really is. But I'm finally at the point in my career now where I know that it was all worth it. And I went through all those ups and downs, and it taught me incredible lessons that I didn't know in the moment. But looking back, I'm so grateful that I went through those, because now I know how to handle adversity. I know how to handle, losing a job. I know how to handle moving across the country, and all of a sudden mom and dad are see you later, and I don't get to see my family ever. And it's all those kind of things that people go through in life, I was kind of thrown into because I wanted to follow my dream of playing football.
And I love it. I mean, you took a chance on yourself. And so many people, I think, are afraid to do that, not just with football, but with life. Like you said, it's comfortable. You've played your first 3 years there. And football aside, like, you're leaving your family. And coming as a big family guy myself that has just stayed in Maryland, like, that's something that's held me back. So I definitely want to give you props on that, because it's not an easy decision. And I think, like you said, you're setting yourself up for future adventures in life that, you might not always go your way. And I mean,
Yep.
Look, the right decision it was, because you played EKU for a year. You have your best statistical season with over 2,000 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, and you declare for the NFL draft. And I mean, look, you weren't selected, but you caught on with the Packers, and that's where you started your career.
Exactly. It was an interesting kind of transition from EKU to Green Bay, but like you said, it's internal belief and having that, kind of support from my family. But I appreciate you saying that.
So, Tim, as an undrafted free agent, did this motivate you all at all? And also, did you feel like a lot of people were underestimating your talent? The reason I'm asking is that a lot of players who ultimately don't get drafted give up. So I think it shows something about your character, like you mentioned, that not only did it make you make it to the NFL, but you also started 3 games last season. So clearly you're doing something right. So what was that whole experience like?
Yeah, I think the unfortunate side of this business is that people, fans, scouting departments, recruiting look very much into statistics, and they look into winning percentage. Not comparing myself to Tom Brady, but a guy who goes 199 and is the backup for a year, and all of a sudden he's going to win all of these Super Bowls, and he's the best player to ever play the game. So there is I said it's character. It's when the crowd stand, how does that player, respond? And for me, every time my back's been against the wall, I've shown up for myself, and that's one thing that I'm so proud of, and one thing that I don't.
Did we lose you there? Or is it me that's lost?
No, I think it's.
Did we lose you there, Tim? Can you hear us okay?
Got me?
Yeah, we got you.
We got
you.
We're back?
Yeah. Yeah, you're just saying, like, you're not comparing yourself. No, you're good. I mean, you're just saying,
I'm
like,
on the 45th floor. I'm working through some Wi-Fi.
No, you're a normal person like us with bad Wi-Fi.
It's Wi-Fi is always a struggle. It really is, but it's Uh-oh. Goodness. You got me?
Yeah. We're going a little in and out here, but it's all good.
Try to report you guys. I think I get a little bit better in here.
Oh, awesome.
You got me?
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, going for a little bit of I was expecting to go on, quite honestly, college, and the numbers I put up, but I knew that once I was in a rookie mini camp, I was going to be in there with first round guys. It was just kind of up to me. But to be quite honest with you, I didn't really have high expectations for myself in the NFL. I always, early on especially, I told myself, if I get a year in the NFL, it's a year more than I thought I was going to get. As much as I always thought that I'd have this long, incredible NFL career, go win Super Bowls, the career I had in college, unfortunately, I did not set myself up well to put myself in the spot. So the fact that I got an opportunity with the Packers, I made the most of it. I learned from one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game for 3 years. And all of a sudden, I get to spread my own wings a little bit and go to Detroit. And here I am with a quarterback, in David Blau, and got to learn a lot about football this year as well. But it's just interesting, the growth of seeing myself as a player, as a teammate, how my thought process has kind of changed every year in the NFL now.
Yeah, and I mean, look, you mentioned playing under Aaron Rodgers, and it's no surprise that you will get limited snaps when he's healthy. And I don't think you necessarily got a fair shot your first 2 seasons. You only attempted 4 passes. You completed 3 of them, including your first to Bobby Tonyan. And I say Bobby Tonyan because
that was a special.
Is that quote true? Where they ask him like, "Hey, isn't your name Robert? Why does Aaron call you Bobby?" And he said, "He's Aaron Rodgers. He can call me whatever the F he wants."
True. Yeah, Bobby is super the flow and kind of myself. I mean, you respect. It's a yes sir from us, and you move forward.
Oh man! You said a yes sir from Aaron Rodgers.
It's just whatever Aaron calls you. That one. So it's you kind of take that one from the old vet on the team, and you kind of show him the respect that he deserves. But Bobby, like myself, we were just so happy and thrilled to be a part of that team, and obviously.
Yeah, so I'm curious to hear, and Tim, I hope you can hear me okay. I'm curious to hear the life of a backup quarterback in the NFL, because I think the casual fan thinks of Alex Moran from Blue Mountain State. I don't know if you've watched that show.
But, I've heard of him. I have not committed to the show, but I definitely know the name.
All right, well, when you got time in the off season, you definitely got to watch it. But it's basically like the glamorous position. You're holding the clipboard. You're playing important, but you're anticipating not going in. But obviously, you have to be ready at any moment if the starter gets hurt. But what are some things that you go through maybe on a daily basis that the average fan doesn't know about a backup quarterback?
I have to do exactly what the starting quarterback does. I don't think a lot of fans know that. I think the backup is kind of a glorified, you're getting paid a bunch of money and you're not really doing anything. But the backup quarterback is an interesting place because you don't get all the credit on game day and you don't get to go out there and throw touchdown passes, but you are doing the same exact work that the starter is doing on top of helping him during the week. And, I learned a lot about that. Aaron kind of had his own process going through the week, but, Jared was very hands-on. He wanted his backup quarterbacks to kind of help him through the week and create lists and kind of watch coverages with them and kind of break down film. So I learned a lot about, that other side of football and, how to make a cut up and doing all these different things to help the starter get ready, on top of the fact that I now have to memorize these calls and I have to understand, I have to watch this film. I have to understand that if I go in the game, I need to essentially plug myself in so we don't skip a beat. But yeah, the backup quarterback's interesting because every single play, especially when the quarterback gets hit, you're not really looking if the ball got completed. You're looking if he's hurt, if he's getting up, if he's slow to get up, because the second there's any hesitation, I'm grabbing my helmet and I'm going to go take some snaps with the center and I'm in the game. And that happened to me this year. It's actually been the first time, but Jared went down, banged up his knee against the Cardinals game. And he was slow to get up. I grabbed my helmet. I took a couple snaps and I was in the game. Fortunately for him, it wasn't a bad injury. He came in, I think, the next play, but it's just that, all right, here you go. You have to be mentally in headspace every single play, even when you're not playing. That next play, I have to go in there and win a football game for us. So it's definitely you definitely have to have a little bit of mental toughness on that side of it, but it's what we all enjoy, so I'm not complaining about it at all.
So I think now we're going to talk about your first start. So what was your reaction when you were going to be told that you were going to start your first game against the Cleveland Browns? And then also, was it similar to that excitement you felt when you threw your first touchdown to Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Yeah, I would say the emotions were different. The pass I threw to Amon-Ra was not intended to be a touchdown.
It was money though.
It was.
I appreciate it, but you never really know. So that play for me was such a surprise because he broke a tackle and he kind of just got in there. And I saw the referee put his hands up, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's my first one." I didn't think it was going to be like that. I thought it was going to be a go ball or a post or something cooler than me throwing. But like you said, it was a good, well placed ball. But when I got the call that I was going to start, obviously a little bit of like, oh, wow, here we go. This is what I've been waiting for my whole life. And to be quite honest with you, I wasn't ready for that call because I was still on IR. And I was on the tail end of IR, and I was throwing with some trainers, and I was starting to get back into it. But I got a call, I believe, on that Monday, or it was a Tuesday before the Cleveland game. And the week before that, we played, the Steelers, and I'm on the sidelines in street clothes. And then the next week, I'm getting the call from our head coach that I'm going to get the start. So a little bit of like, oh, here we go. I have to go from being on IR and rehabbing my thumb surgery to here I am. I'm going to go start a game against a really good defense. So that week it's kind of a whirlwind. Your first start, I think everyone kind of remembers their first one. And our quarterback coach Mark Brunell did a good job of we went through the room. I think sometime during that week, and we all talked about our first start and just kind of the fact that you never forget it. You go out there and just the memories that you create when you're out there, the guys just being in the huddle, and the fact that I've only played in away stadiums has been a treat for me too. That's taught me a lot about communication and kind of lowering my like calming down and learning how to breathe, but also volume and having to work through the fact that being an away team truly is way more difficult than when you're playing at home. And I'm glad, but to be quite honest with you guys, my head coach pulled me aside after the season. He said, "You know what, Tim, you've gone through it pretty much every single situation that a quarterback needs to go through in 3 games. I had 2-minute drills. I had game on the line, fourth quarter drive. I have had late second half, we're down by a bunch of points. We have to go throw the ball a bunch and go score. Like I've had a bunch of situations now playing in those 3 games only that I can learn from and grow from, which I'm extremely grateful for, because this past year has been an incredible year for me to grow. And as you guys know, I think the name of the game is assessing your weaknesses and building on and assessing those and growing from them, but also understanding and being aware of your strengths and growing on those.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you put it perfectly. Like, there is such an expectation that rookies make a positive or make an impact right away. Like, people are talking about, did the Dolphins make a mistake with Tua? And it's like, we had a COVID-shortened season. Let him get some reps. And I feel like there's such an urgency to win now. And you're right. The future starts you had, the one against the Falcons, I mean, you looked more comfortable. You went 24 of 34, 219 yards, a touchdown, an interception. And you're right. You go through different game scenarios. Now, Tim, I'm a believer in speaking things to existence. So I'm speaking this because you're going to be back with the Lions next season if you want to be. But I don't think their record this year was indicative of who they are as a team, because they lost 7 games by 1 possession. It took things like Justin Tucker hitting the longest field goal in history for the Ravens to win. Dan Campbell seems like a great coach. The division is wide open if Rodgers leaves. What can the Lions do to improve so that they are winning these games?
That's a wonderful question. And to be quite honest with you, you hit the nail right on the head, because we are a talented team and we know we're a talented team. Mm-hmm. The unfortunate part about the NFL, and it's also the beautiful part, is just the healthy teams need to hit their stride at the perfect part of the season. And we lost a lot of our key players early on in the season. They came back and we lost them again, and then you lose a TJ Hawkinson late in the season. Just key players for us that could have made a huge impact late in the season that we didn't have due to injury. But I fully believe in Dan Campbell, and I told him that, man, he is hungry to get us back on top. He understands what the city of Detroit deserves. He understands what the fan base deserves, and we are all behind him. I promise you that. We absolutely love playing for him. He is so genuine and authentic with how he talks to us, and the transparency behind the conversations that the GM and himself have. It's such a healthy environment there. But moving forward, I think we had a young team this year, and that we played a lot of young guys, first, second year guys, even rookies. It's getting experience with those guys is critical. But I think the next step for us is a team that we can take. And to be quite honest with you, I've talked to Jared about this, and I can help facilitate this as a quarterback. But I think the more we hang out with each other outside of football, I think the more we will trust and be together on the field. And I know that kind of sounds pretty easy, but I kind of took that for granted in Green Bay, because maximum you're 20 minutes away from people in Green Bay, maybe 25 minutes away, just because it's such a small market. It's Green Bay. I don't know if you guys have had the pleasure of going out there, but it's such a small little place. Detroit is different. I have teammates who live an hour away from me. I have teammates who live 45 minutes that way and another 25 minutes that way. So it's just trying to find that middle ground where we can all hang out and make time for each other. I think that's going to be really critical moving forward. But you take a couple plays away this season, and we're having a way different conversation about our record. But Coach Campbell makes sure that we're dialed in and we don't blink whenever adversity hits.
Yeah, and I really think that you guys are on the up, and there's narratives in football, and everybody thought that the Lions are rebuilding, getting rid of Stafford, taking on Goff, and it's like, hey, we're going to have some draft picks. But I like the mindset you have, because you're right. The team is very talented, and football, one possession goes here or there, and that's literally what can change between a win or loss.
It's incredible, man. And this past year has taught me that, and I knew this with the Packers, but it is hard to win in the NFL. It really is. And that's why you appreciate teams that, go 13-3 or 14, and I guess we have 17 games now, but winning in the NFL is, trust me, we don't like 17 games just as much. I don't know, but 17 games, man, it's a tough one. And rumor has it they want to go to 18. So we'll see if that happens. But it's a long season, and it's hard to win, and you appreciate wins, and the 3 wins we had this past year were so incredible. Beating the Vikings, how we beat them on a walk-off, beating a really talented Cardinals team at home, and then ending the season, beating the Packers on kind of a nail-biter game. And they got to play Jordan Love a little bit and kind of get to watch him firsthand. Obviously, I spent a year with him, and getting to watch him play, and the fact that we ended the season and I got to take a knee on the Packers, I didn't do my old, knee forward. I didn't think that'd be appropriate, but it was a special season, but one I can reflect on it and truly know that this is going to be a growth year for me. And I'm so excited to kind of hit this off season rolling, because I know exactly what I have to work on. I know exactly what I need to do to become a better quarterback and a better teammate. And I'm excited. I really am.
And Tim, speaking of growth and success and your former team, so what did you learn and how did you grow as a result of playing behind 4-time MVP Aaron Rodgers? Because I feel like that's got to help somewhere and it's got to help your success.
Yeah. What I've said in the past, and people kind of ask me that question. I mean, imagine whoever you both look up to in your profession, right? I've always been a Tom Brady fan my whole life, just being from Connecticut and being a New England fan.
And being a TB.
Exactly. It was all the fact that I'm TB12 now it was so cool that I was able to do that. But he's the real TB12, and I'll never say it. I mean, it's what an incredible career he's had. But it's Aaron is a special guy. He really is, and how his brain works and how fluid he is physically it really is alien. Like he's from another planet, in my opinion. He really is. He just, the stuff he does with his body. There's probably only 2 other guys in the NFL who come close. And that's Patrick Mahomes and probably Josh Allen. They're in from a weird kind of angles and mechanics standpoint. But being around him every day, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, he's such a high level person, and a high level player. So whenever you're around someone like that, your game and your mental approach just continue to climb. And I was actually reflecting on that a few days. I meditate now every day, and just the fact that I was able to be around him pretty much every day for 3 years. I mean, I know, just like stories. I know who he is as a person, and I've had the pleasure to know Aaron now for 4.5 years, and I promise you guys, I'm not sitting here without him, because he has taken me from, the player that I was when I first came in the league was thankfully good enough to slide on the 53-man roster, but competing against him every day and all these drills, and when you're around him, whoever you surround yourself with, it's just going to continually increase your productivity. So he's a special human being. He really is, and no one can ever duplicate what he does on the football field. It really is incredible, and I hope he plays for as long as he can, and he has a long, MVP filled, and hopefully he gets, 1 or 2 more Super Bowls. I'd love that for him.
I'd love that for him too. And Tim, I want to go back to you, because one of the things I've seen, from this interview, from what I've done on my research, is that you take accountability. You're talking about what you need to get better in the offseason and being prepared for that, and your overall love of the game of football. And I think that's a big thing when you get to this point in your career, is that you still have love for the game and you're not just doing it for the money. And, hopefully at 27, you have a long career ahead of you. I want to be respectful of your time, and I want to get you out of here with a little triple play rapid fire, some this or that questions. They're not all football related. You game?
Okay. Is this the first thing that comes to my mind, or is this?
Options? If you want, it's going to be this or that. So, if you want to take a second to think about it, but they're going to be weird questions. I'll be honest with you. So, Teddy got the first one here.
I'll be honest. Right. I will be honest.
Thank you.
I'm going to start you off with an easy one. Invincibility or flight?
Flight would be sweet.
I agree.
Okay. The cooler looking jersey, the Lions blue or the Packers green?
Lions blue.
Okay. That's
makes my eyes pop.
Okay. Would you rather clog the toilet in the locker room or at Brooks' place on your first date?
Set the tone early. Brooks' place, first date.
Okay. All right. The confidence. I love that.
Set the tone early.
Would you rather wear a cape or an eye patch for a month?
A cape or an eye patch? I like my eyesight. I'll do a cape.
Okay, but that cape is going to be long. You might step on it.
That's fine, and people are going to judge me, but I'm actually, thankfully, at the point in my life where I really don't care what people say about me. And if I had to wear a cape, I'd probably have it for a good reason.
Perfect. So since you said you like your eyesight, you lead me to the next one. Would you rather see blurry all the time or see black and white all the time?
Black and white. Blurry would be horrible. I'd go crazy.
Okay. Well, you're good. You're good at thinking of these on the spot.
Yeah.
I have to say this one. Hard or soft boiled eggs?
I
I had to throw a last name pun in there.
I appreciate that. I'm not a huge soft or hard boiled person. But if I had to choose, probably hard boiled, just because my mom does it and I feel like I'd like it because my mom likes it, but I appreciate the pun.
Okay. Thank you. Would you rather have to fart loudly every time you have a serious conversation or have to burp after every kiss?
Burp after the kiss, because whoever I'm kissing probably handle me burping, but I don't want to go crazy farting in front of everyone I'm having a serious conversation with.
You'd be farting around a lot today. I love how comfortable you are.
I have a lot of serious conversation. Exactly. And that wouldn't be a good look. And I feel like the only person I kiss is Brooke, and she can handle a few burps here and there.
You know what? You seem your authentic self around her, willing to clog the toilet at her spot and burp. I like that. Confidence is big to this position.
We are very much comfortable with each other, which is a blessing in our relationship.
I love that. We got a few left here. Would you rather wake up in bed next to a porcupine or a skunk?
That's a double-edged sword.
Mhm.
I've had experience with skunk with my dog back in the day, and that's bad news. So I'm willing to go porcupine and just battle through the injury there. But the stench is a tough one to get rid of. I don't know if you guys have had the unfortunate pleasure.
I haven't. I actively avoid
I hope you never
them.
do.
Yeah, I avoid it too.
Okay, I'm glad I got you thinking on this one. Would you rather fight Mike Tyson once or talk like him the rest of your life?
I'll probably fight him. I get my ass beat, but I fight him.
How many rounds do you think you could go with him? I mean, you
Zero.
seem like a pretty in shape guy.
Zero. I'm not. I like back against the wall. Like I feel like I'd go like crazy for a little bit, but I don't have the stamina. Can I train for this fight, or is this like a just get in the ring right now and like have at it?
I'll give you a little bit of training time.
Yeah, even if I had a little bit of training time, I'm still going to get knocked out. I can't talk like that. I was going to
say, the cheat answer that people say is, I'll just take one punch and pretend I'm knocked out.
No, I'd try to fight. I don't feel like I would do that. I feel like I would, if I could stand up and get back up, I'd do it. But I don't do the videos. Even when he's an old man right now, the videos of him training are sickening. Like I don't want any part of that. But I also like my voice. So
okay, that's fair. Would you rather throw an interception or get sacked by Aaron Donald on 3 consecutive plays?
3 sacks is much better than a turnover. So 3 sacks any day of the week.
But do you care about your body though?
If I know how to get down properly, Aaron, it might hurt, but I'd be willing to take a beating just so we don't have a 1 in the turnover margin.
Okay. I got a couple more if you like these. All right. On the topic of fighting, would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck?
Little guys. I feel like duck-sized horses though, it could be interesting.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that one. I feel like I'd have a much better chance.
Okay. I like that. I think that's the better answer. You can use 1 utensil the rest of your life, a fork, a spoon, or a knife, and you can't say spork. What are you picking? And there is one right answer for this.
It's a fork.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Tim,
the universal utensil.
That's a good one. Tim, hypothetically, if UConn played Eastern Kentucky, who are we cheering for?
That's an easy one.
EKU.
Yeah.
Kearns by 90, baby. Kearns by 90. No disrespect to UConn. Had a great time there, but that's my alma mater.
All right. I got a couple more because I do want to be respectful of your time. What is your favorite cereal?
Oh, man. Cocoa Pebbles.
Tim, we were doing Cocoa Pebbles, really?
Cocoa Pebbles, man. It turns it into nice chocolate milk after you just drink the milk. It's incredible.
But why not Cocoa Puffs over Cocoa Pebbles?
Puffs are a little big and they scratch the top of my mouth. The Pebbles are just more of like I can chew it a little bit and it's down the hatch.
Okay. All right. Do you think you could eat a family-sized box of those in one sitting?
I have.
You have? Oh, maybe we can get you on our next food challenge. That's what we're going to do.
Like in one setting, like I had to sit here and just like bowl, pour it again, eat another bowl, family sized.
Yeah, family sized box, eat it in one. It could be like an hour. You've done that.
I don't know about family, but if it was a challenge, I'd be able to do it because I would enjoy it. It wouldn't like hurt me to do.
Oh, we're going to do this in like a month or so. If you want to hop on and live stream with us.
I could probably do a family size box. I mean, it'd probably be my meal. I'd need to fast for a few hours before.
Okay. I'm going to remember this to follow up. The last one here. Would you rather eat an entire bag of hot dogs or hot dog buns?
That's tough.
I saved a good one to end it on. Basically, do you want protein or carbs?
I was going to say protein, but also I know what hot dogs are made out of, and it's not cute. So I'd have a tough time mentally getting through those hot dogs, but too many carbs can't do it for the body.
Oh, can't have a dad bod. No dad bods.
Can't do it. Got to keep it tight for Brooke.
I love it. Well, Tim, we really appreciate you joining on and shooting you know what with us. Before we get you out of here, is there anything you want to plug where they can find you on the socials, where they can find your highlights besides YouTube?
To be quite honest with you guys, and I was going to not necessarily shout out, but if people do reach out to me, I'm actually going through a little bit of a phone detox. So if you reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter, I will get back to you like yourselves, but it might take me some time because I'm not on the platforms as much as other people are due to the fact that I'm trying to get away from social media. So just a little tidbit for those people watching that I will get back to you, but I'm not on Instagram and Twitter and all that as much as everyone else is.
Oh man, what a guy trying to detox from social media in an era that is captivating us all. But make sure you follow him on Instagram at @TimBoyle_8. He is verified, so it's the real Tim Boyle here if you didn't know.
Sir.
And then on Twitter, let me pull it up right here. You are at TimBoyle_7. And
7,
verified there also.
Number, the high school digit. Nice. I didn't change it. Cool.
Okay. All right. Well, the 7 and the 8. But for everybody that tunes in and watches Triple Play, we really appreciate it. Make sure you catch some other stuff we got going on the YouTube channel, some athlete interviews, and everybody stay safe. And we're going to make like a bread truck and haul these buns.
I love it. Guys, a pleasure.